scripting language. So let's begin with the JavaScript of that. So coming back to my Visual Studio Code, I'm just going to create one JavaScript here. So let me create in the JavaScript folder. I'm just going to create one new file. So the specific file, whatever you want, you can just give it. So basically it runs through the scripting, or directly we can just make use of the JS file and we can run it. So I'm just going to mention here as the index.html over here. So in the index.html file, I'm just going to create one more specific. I'm just going to just write this, add the boiler template. I'm just going to mention here as the JS one here. Inside the JS one, I'm just going to tell in the h1 tag here, welcome to JavaScript. Okay, so I'm just going to start this specific live server of this specific page, that is index.html. So once I just start, it starts the development server. So we are going to see how this is going to be there. So I right click and inspect element tool over there. So I'm just going to make use of inspect element tool, and I'll just come back to the console over there. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to do something in this way. So here I'm just going to just make the two screens here, so that's I can write the specific code and I can able to code it as well, right? So why it is not giving? So okay, let me have like this. So now let me close this specific things inside in this way. If I just make use of the larger point of view to write this specific screen here. Okay, so now coming back to this specific scenario, so I was going, I don't know why it's not coming it. So it has to be there. So not dividing the two screens basically. So no worries. Okay, so I'm going to make use of this terminal itself. Now you can see I have written the welcome to JavaScript here, right? So now I wanted to just write this specific script here. So there are also three types of specific in adding these CSS scripts here. So you can just add it using the internal scripts. I'm just going to make use of the script tags here. So inside the script tag, if I just try to add console.log, I'm just going to tell here as welcome to JavaScript. So once I just save this, you will be able to see the specific output inside the control here. So you can see in the console, I can able to see welcome to the scripts over here. So I can able to see the stuffs. What are the scripts you want to add? You can add it inside the specific script tags over here. So here we can add numbers also. If I just tell here as a console.log, if I add here as 20 plus 30, you can able to see, I'll be able to see the output as 50 over here. That is in the form of the number over here. So you can add the specific scripts inside the specific CSS. So again, I will have another specific thing, so I can able to add it. So if I just write it here as script script of src, I'm just going to tell in the same specific folder I wanted to go to the specific file, that is js1.js here. I'm just going to write one specific JavaScript file. So I'm just going to write it js1.js. So how you are going to create the JavaScript file? The extension is going to be .js is going to be the extension over here. Even you can just add it here as all the specific piece of code here. So I'm going to tell here as the js1 in external file. I'm just going to mention here as the js1 is going to be inside the external file. Just going to tell here as a console dot. I'm going to just tell here as a console dot specifically. I'm going to tell as the error. I'm just going to mention here as no error. Okay, so I'm just going to mention again, there will be another console. I wanted to just type it. Console.warn is there to add date here as the specific, like as the warning here. I'm just going to mention here as the console.table is there where we can able to add some kind of a data here. So let's tell here as the name is going to be a GUI here, and I wanted to add another thing like since I'm just going to mention here as the since like 2014 something. So once I just save this, so you'll be able to see this information inside it. You can able to see, I was able to see the JS1 in external file. That means it is loaded the JS file. And you can see, you can able to see if you want to display some kind of an errors, you can able to display into the no error here. You can able to see the warning messages is able to show. You can see console.tables, what it does, it basically does the data inside in the form of a table over here that returns the object here, right? So this is how we can able to load the specific scripts in the various way. Even I can just add the scripts on here as well. So I'm just going to mention here as a paragraph tag. I'll just tell here as on click here. So I'm just going to mention here as the on click event. I'm just going to tell on click. I'm just going to show. I wanted to just show the alert message. You have clicked me. So I'm just going to mention you have specifically clicked me over here. So I'm just going to mention inside the single quotes here. Okay. So I'm just going to tell here as something called as the click me. So rather than having this specific paragraph tag, I'm just going to make use of this is going to be your BUTTON button over there. Okay. So once I just save it over here, so you'll be able to see here I have a button here. So once I click onto this button, you can see it's saying me you have clicked me over here. So this is the inline specific script, we can add it, and this is going to be the internal script, and whatever the things which you are seeing JS1 is going to be your external script here. So this is how we are going to write the specific scripts. So the scripts are mainly written for our client-side scripting, so that standards makes the UI experience more better. So JavaScript is something that's added for the HTML and CSS for making it more responsive, making it more functional, like adding the soul to your website, and all the majority of the things which we can do it from the front end with the client side without giving the loads for the server. So where we are going to use all the JS so that we can do a lot of many things in the client side scripting itself from with the help of the scripting language like JavaScript. So this is all about the intro on the JavaScript over here. So I wanted to just discuss one more thing. So let's download the Node.js here. So I'm just going to tell here as a Node.js/.org/en/download here. So I wanted to download this specific Node.js here. So the latest version of the Node.js is 21.20 point here. So you can just start downloading this specific Node.js here. So first go to the specific thing. So you can see the latest version is recommended for the Windows we are having. Whichever you are having the Mac or OS, you can just start downloading these specific things. So once you start download, where is the download option? I cannot able to see, right? So let me go from the beginning. So I'm just going to mention here as download Node.js. Okay. So first go to the first document, first specific link onto it. So it is giving me here. So first tell here as a here is a pre-built installer. Here we are having pre-built source code. Source code is here. So I wanted to download this specific installer package manager is here. So basically I wanted to, they are saying me I can install using the specific node commands also. So I don't prefer using this. I'll be preferring the pre-built installer. I just click on the download Node.js 20.1.4. So once I download it is around 25 MB. So I'll just go to here. I'll just install this specific Node.js here. Once I install, I'm just going to make use of the installation. So it is preparing for the specific install. So you can see how we are going to run the Node.js, right? So you can see, please wait, it's setuping the specific prepare to the guide for computing space requirement. So mainly I was able to run the specific scripts inside the console, right? So with the help of Node.js, I can, with the help of the npm package, right? So I can run the specific code in here itself. So what are the scripts files I wanted to see the output, I can able to run it inside the terminal itself. So that provides the specific feature. That's why I'm just going to install the Node.js here. So you can see I'm just going to click on to the next. I'll accept this terms of ignition. I'll just click on to next. I'll just click on to the install over here. So once I install the Node.js, so I'll be able to run the specific scripts inside the terminal itself. Rather than going and checking inside the specific console, I can just download. I can just able to see the specific output inside my terminal itself. So coming back to the JavaScript is mainly about the worldwide it's been used majorly. It's a main object-oriented programming as well, and it's dynamic over that. When you talk about the key features of JS, right, it is majorly has it's event-driven. Its compatibility is more like supports for all the web browsers, and it's a more interactive way for reloading the specific pages over there. So in the next sessions, we are going to start with the first concepts of JavaScript. Like we are going to see the variables, how we are going to declare the variables, and we are going to discuss about the data types in JavaScript. Okay, so let's wait for the installation part of it. So then we are going to resume our video. So you can see here the Node.js has been successfully installed here. So I'm just going to click on to the finish over here. So once I finish, I'm just going to open the command prompt. So once I open the specific command prompt, I can able to check the version of the node. So I'm just going to tell here as the node --- version v over here. So you can see the node. Okay, so I'm just going to mention here as node --- version. Once I enter, so you can able to see I was able to see the 20.14.0, the latest version, the which right now we have installed, which the browser has recommended. We have installed a specific Node.js version over here. So the Node.js versions comes up with the package of npm packages like that. So now I'm just going to come back to the new terminal over here. So once I just open the terminal, so I can able to run the specific scripts from the JS itself. Rather than going to the browser and check all the every output, I can able to check the specific output inside the terminal itself. So I'm going to open the new terminal over here. here. So you can use the PowerShell or you want to use the command prompt. It's completely your choice. So here let's wait for this terminal to get open. So here you can see that it has been opened here. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to the specific folder by the name that is a JavaScript. So I'll insert the JavaScript folder over here. So inside this specific JavaScript, so I'm just going to zoom a little bit onto it part. So here I'll just make these specifics to be screen like this. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just going to run the specific command that is a node. So in the node, I'm just going to tell here as a js1.js here. So once I enter node.js1.js, you guys can able to see the output I can able to see in the terminal also. If you want to see the output inside the console, you can go ahead and watch over here. So that's completely your choice. Or else simply we can just rather than if the concept which is not included with the HTML files, so those concepts, it helps us to see the output here in the terminal itself. Okay, so this is what I've explained you this specific concept. Okay, so in the next session we are going to start with the concepts of JS. Take care. Bye bye.